Good morning, gentlemen, ladies. We are today launching ATAB World College with a primary objective, three objectives. One, to enable existing commanders' situation development and situational awareness. Second, to heighten the perception of intelligences. And third, to educate would-be intelligences from a totally different perspective, from int management perspective. I'm not launching the course for only an educative purpose or a standard academic literature. My main target is to create int professionals, be it an existing commander, be it a police officer, be it a soldier on the ground, or be it a new student. This course highlights the concept of every soldier a sensor, pushing int capability to ground levels and tactical levels. Here, we will focus on the ground realities. Be it a police officer, be it an army soldier, or a commander of a battalion. This course is configured, although it is totally army flavor, is configured for even law enforcement people and for anti-terrorist personnel. Here, the awareness of the intelligence of commander is heightened so that he can conduct situational development, and from that comes situational awareness. The basic point of situational awareness is missing in most areas. Commanders or police officers, in charge of a police jurisdiction, they straightaway give the requirements of information and deploy their collection assets. Now, first and foremost is situational awareness. And for that, we require a int preparation of the battlefield or the police area jurisdiction. I focused on this. The course will lead the student from the most preliminary to advanced techniques in collection, in counterterrorism, in force protection. Force protection I've dealt totally separately, and I've created a new breed of intelligence, force protection intelligence. And apart from this, the course is totally practical oriented, in the sense that the objective is to increase the acumen of the student so that he is prompted to create his own mini int environment in his office or in his home and apply them in his day-to-day taskings and experiment. My idea is to inculcate creativity in the intelligentsia. I don't want the student to just get an academical qualification and pass out. For this purpose, the exam is very tough. 3-level examinations. He's going to pass all 3. Apart from collection of intelligence, apart from int cycle, I have focused on 3 aspects. From the commander's viewpoint, from the soldier's viewpoint, and from the law enforcement viewpoint. The main point is, again I said, situational awareness and intelligence awareness, a term which I have coined. The thing is that I want the student to take intelligence as an enabler of operations, not as a support to operations. I want him to understand that intelligence factors from every level to topmost level during planning, during execution, during determining int requirements, in everything int, and int. So on to completely, drown his mental faculties with one concept, that intelligence is an enabler of operations, and intelligence resides within operations, like an engine resides within the body of a car. So it should be int-driven operations, not int-led operations. This is one crucial factor you should understand. Similarly, if I come to some other basic points, I have distilled around 200 tactical operations around the globe. I've studied the failures, the successes of US Army and other armies. And I've distilled and taken out certain new concepts which have proved effective in Afghanistan, in Iran, in Iraq, in South Africa. And that is number one, tactical intelligence. Number two, which I created myself, intelligence projection. If the commander is handling an area of operations, he can send his other int assets and deploy them in the area of interest where he hasn't yet stepped in for a pre-int preparation of the battlefield. That's int projection. We are now concerned about the first order, the second order, third order effects. These are into consideration, and that is why I can project intelligence into other areas other than the area of operations. I'm speaking too much army style. I'll now devolve out of this. My basic thing is this. I'm teaching intelligence as a process, as a product, as an organization. A process, product, organization. The student should carefully understand that he should churn out intelligence as careful analyzed information in form of specific products for specific consumer queries. The consumer, the government, the army, the police, the administration. But one very important thing I have tried to focus upon. We get intelligence from higher ups. We get intelligence from the agencies. They are fed to battalions and the police headquarters, the police stations. But mind you, the soldier on the ground is the best collector. The battalion commander is the best assessor. And the police officer, the police station in charge, is the best assessor of what information is required. Our superiors, superior int headquarters, all the int agencies, they are of much higher resolution. They cannot see properly the ground level. The soldier on the ground is at a much lower resolution. And he knows the idiom of his field, the area which he is controlling, what is required, what information is required. The information supplied by the higher headquarters at the int agencies and the information collected by the soldier on the ground, the commander then assesses, makes an IPB, gets a situational awareness, and decides on something called int gaps. The information missing from the higher headquarters and the int agencies. And those int gaps are what the soldier or the officer or the police beat officer on the ground will collect. And that is boot level intelligence. I am pushing int capability to the ground. This course is not just a certification for int tactics, techniques and procedures. It's a complete course, a system, a holistic system where I've integrated intelligence operations, where I've tried to make the student understand that before planning on int requirements, you should know the situation where you are in. I'm going to touch on Carver method also. I'm touching on anti-terrorist techniques also. I'm touching on counterinsurgency also. But I've given counterintelligence a very important place. It is not only a protection for the int apparatus, it also gathers us positive intelligence, and it is imperative for force protection. I'm sorry to say, in many countries, they don't have force protection doctrine. I written myself the FP doctrine in India. Force protection is a total different system. The students should understand that even a loss of one soldier or one aircraft in a hangar is a loss of capability by one unit. We should be 100% capable to fight. The main purpose of INT is targeting, be it kinetic or non-kinetic. And to achieve proper targeting, we must know the enemy in detail. Then only we can set down target selection standards, target folders. We do target nomination. And then we do, after the execution of the targeting, target, the reduction planning. Whatever it is. The CIO course for ATAB World College Europe, the totally new one. And I'm expecting very few students to understand it is the first go. The examinations are very tough, excuse me. But I need, again as I said, I need to churn out professional intelligences, not academical students passing the examination. I've touched on other things also, like multidimensional reconnaissance. I've touched on proper admixture of INT and CI assets. But the student will be led right from basics of collection to advanced techniques. But overall, again, I'm telling you, this is a practical-oriented course. The student in his assignments will be encouraged to create his own INT domain in his office, in his home, so he can become part and parcel of the INT course, not just a student of the INT course. We need to prevent surprise. Intelligence is to prevent surprise. Intelligence is to give surprise. This element, surprise, is very important. And for that, a restructured INT knowledge is required. Best of luck to every one of you. Thank you, gentlemen.